In the bottom left side, the Shopify Rebel. It is the red Terran player, Byun. The top right side, it's a dragon, a phoenix, and a gamer. All in one. It's the blue Terran player, Cure. Alright. TVT. A match that can go quite brutal and quite slow in a lot of cases. And in this case, it looks like it won't be that slow. There's a barracks on the other side of the map here being built by Cure. It's only a singular barrack, so it could still slow things down later in the line. But Byun opening up with a 2 refinery build of his own, I think he should be perfectly okay with this. Unless if he sends his Reaper out too far, you know, Cure waits around here for a little bit. There we go, gets that gas nice and early. Most likely see the factory here from Cure in the wall. Byun starts up his own Reaper. Oh, look at that. It's not going to be a Reaper from Cure here. It's going to be a Tech Lab onto this barracks. That Reaper is waypointed in a way where it will find this barracks. But the SCV coming in, very likely to have that Reaper re-queued onto something else. You might want to consider sacrificing that. Well, he doesn't know, of course, that that Reaper has plans to go to the barracks. If he had known, maybe he would have sacrificed the SCV, but no, sir. This Reaper will be finding the barracks over here. He doesn't know about the Tech Lab just quite yet, but he will be taking this quite seriously and throwing down a bunker here immediately. Reaper towards the other side. Looks like there's not much there for Cure. Beyond knowing what he's doing, he'll be raking in the SCV kills here, really putting a timer on Cure's plan. Even going to stop the production of this factory for the time being. Slowing down any potential neutralizing thing for dealing with this Reaper. Alright, more SCVs. He's going to try to get some healing done. On the other side, the Marauders are just kind of stumped. They aren't really able to fight with the bunker. You could try to come up there, do some damage, and then start focusing down SCVs, but the Marines are just going to have free reign on them. The SCVs, they can repair themselves, as well as the supply depots and whatever that Cure is trying to break down here. I like this, utilizing the barracks for high ground vision. Gonna start working away at the supply depot. I think that could be something you could just sacrifice here. The Reaper has been dealt with. The Hellion did come out to play. Shots that down. As things, well, looking like they might stabilize a little bit here. Barracks of Cure will be lost as well. Which kind of should equalize out this overall units lost tab. Let's see, tech-wise, building-wise, fairly equal. Guess we have a siege tank available. Oh, this is interesting. It's a good thing we went to the siege tank. Oh. That's the end of the Marauders. Alright. It's the siege tank versus the Cyclone here. Might mean Cure. I would say he's more likely to still go across the map here. Try to lie in ambush somewhere and hopefully get a lock onto his siege tank before it sieges, or as it's transporting. He's staying quite close to base. Might be more afraid of some medevac getting into his main base here. And to be fair, there is a medevac with this push of Byun, so there is a potential for that. Yeah, he's set up over here. He knows this is such a nice position for the red player to try and set up on. Siege tanks coming up into the main. Cure, oh, he doesn't know. He just barely doesn't know. And suddenly siege tanks already sieged up. Havoc and Mayhem. Sorry, I thought I saw something blink there. Apparently, it's just people mining. Well, this is just abysmal right now for Cure. He's got his own siege tank set up, but the siege tank over Byun are free to move towards the right side here and start laying siege to the main base mineral line. It's just the command center itself, of course. Gas mining going to be quite severely reduced there for Cure. As Byun is taking a third base behind us. The third base for Cure set up here in the back. So this command center will have to be repaired. Medevac shot down. Byun no escape any longer. A good way to push forwards either, but... Oh dear. Okay, keeps his tank alive. That is very important. He establishes a pretty okay line here where it's going to be hard for Byun to do anything else. He's lost more workers there. What was that? I think Banshee harassment. Alright, trying to break the siege. Loses one of his own siege tanks into the natural base, however. That is the secondary attack. Looking to take down more workers. Another Banshee with it. Vikings there, quite scary, however. Decide to run back around, but... Okay, Cure not going to chase them all the way. That was still a very worthwhile time there spent for Byun. As the Banshee now cloaked and ready into the main base. May as well sack it here. It's another 4 workers. As there is now a 17 SCV lead in favor for Byun. Lacking behind on, what is it? Well, 35 workers now for Cure. Production for Byun looks like it's up and rolling for Cure. However, we're still only on the 1 barracks. And it doesn't have an attachment either. Mostly relying on the starports and factory units for the time being. And it looks like that is going to be him moving across the map. With that assortment of a bit more tech-orientated army now, I suppose. Not so really by design, perhaps, but it's still the case. You got to work with what you got, of course. SCV in the front. Didn't quite get to see the siege tanks there, so it got shot down by the Marine. After the Vikings and Liberators have a clear eye now on the situation and are going to try to push the issue here. Viking control slightly in favor for Cure. Not sure for how long, however. The Liberator targeted down, and that was the biggest piece of the air army there for Cure. Complete the channel points, that's a good point. Hold on, I'll do it after this game. Sorry, I don't usually do those, so I'm not used to it. Yeah, Cure. He's gone back into SCV production. He does have a third base that's flying over, but it's been such a long period of time where Byun just had such a ginormous advantage in income that his army has grown a lot quicker than the one of Cure as well. He's got himself the upgrade advantage. He's got himself upgrades advantage. He's getting stim. He's already got combat shield. He's got the better army. He's got the better economy. It is Byun's game to lose. The one shining star here for Cure, I suppose, would be his siege tank count. The 6 siege tank here can still be a devastating force if Byun ever oversteps his boundaries and suddenly loses too much. Perhaps Kjør will be able to find a way to wrestle back some control of this game. But again, it would come down to Byun just kind of recklessly running into somewhere, unaware of his surroundings. And that is definitely something that can happen. You can never be on all places at the same time. Even as these pro players, they appear like they are. It's just not the case. Now, almost lacking 50 supply behind is Kjør. Nearly 40 supply difference in army supply. And as Kjør is now on 56. It is definitely looking dire for Kjør. Liberator might be able to set up somewhere neatly. Some siege tanks backwards. Kjør forced to try and focus down that Liberator. That means he has to give up air control once again. So Viking advantage towards Byun. Having a nice straight up line here of his siege tanks. Managing to get a good couple of shots in, but doesn't quite clear Kjør his siege tank line either. Viking lead now for Kjør, suddenly having a bunch more. Guess being close to your production is a benefit, and I suppose Byun is known for kind of all-going Viking production. After a little while, he's like, you know what, let me just make more Marines, more siege tanks, and we'll just win with the important units. Catching another couple. Medevacs into the natural base. Siege tanks have to be repositioned to try and deal with this, as now the front door starts to try and be encroached upon. Is it enough Marines to press the advantage, though? I don't think it is. Wondering now whether or not he should try anything with these Vikings. Marines in the natural base, however, 18 SCV kills in their name. Not too shabby at all. Byun realizing the siege tanks of Kjør are fairly far backwards, so he can still make quite a bit of a push out of this situation here, and even get his advantage further set in this match. Is he gonna lose the command center? Oh boy! I guess the scanner right now. And he can't see without having a Marine there. Okay, now he sees. There you go. More and more reinforcements. Army supply, surprisingly, has gotten a bit closer. It does definitely take a toll trying to break a siege tank position. Oh, the Liberator. Quick response with the Marines, but a costly one. Allows the siege tanks to remain here, but maybe the next Liberator is going to have something to say about that. The next army, however, of Byun is already set up. And how are you going to stop this Kjør? I'm not so sure that he is. Well, actually, yeah, he is. He's still got a good army here. Well, 66 army supply. I guess most of Byun's army. Yeah, there we go. A lot of it is still back in his own base. So Byun once more going with the medevacs into the natural. There where he just managed to do quite a bit of damage. This time bringing a couple of siege tanks with him. Already met with a siege tank though from Kjør. Quickly dealt with. He's going to go for the upgrades. Probably valuable targets there. The engineering base. Let's manage to get both of them if he really wants to. There we go. And now he's here. Gonna be a slow dissecting problem. But Kjør will be able to deal with it. Should be able to deal with it. A big fight in the center, however. Not one that Cure was really begging for. Marines in the main base. GG is called. And the game of running circles around Cure there ends with Byun coming out dominant. Well, let's take a look. Two builds going pretty similarly hand in hand right now. Two of them building the Hellions, 2 Reapers, command center, and more SCVs. I'm gonna get to go head to head with these units eventually, of course. But for the time being, we're gonna have to wait for that to inevitability for them to collide. Why am I seeing lag spikes again? This is worrying me. Just gonna triple check here. Oh, should be fine. Alright. Cure set up, Byun set up as well. They're both ready to receive, but not really going for the giving of punishing here. Neither of them all that keen on initiating the micro battle. Oh, wait. Oh, I spoke too soon, perhaps. Cure, off he goes. 3 Hellions together with 5 Reapers. Off to meet 3 Reapers with 2 Hellions. Cure knew exactly the amount of units that he would need, and here they are. Let's see if it's going to accomplish anything. His Reaper's a little bit slower to the fight overall, as there is a nicer arc available for Byun. But just the overall more units for Cure, even with the 2 Marines there, does seem to win him the battle. But not the war, as a Cyclone comes in afterwards and shuts down the celebratory party of Cure quite quickly there. So yeah, overall pretty equal trades. Cure having control of the watchtower, which is a slight advantage, if anything. In TVT, it might be a really big advantage, actually. He's got himself map control with some units out and about. So whatever Byun is planning to be bringing across the map, it's very likely to be spotted by Cure quite early on. Cure definitely more of a stride this game around as well, with his production, you know, going. Not being hurt in the early game as much. Those Marauders really didn't serve him all too well. Double drop. 2 medevacts filled with Marines coming towards the other side of the map. There's a couple of Ravens together with... Oh, look at that. Big pillar of Marines. 2 siege tanks ready to wage war on the other side of the map. Byun has his 3rd base well exposed on the low ground here. That is most likely going to get ran into. The double drop though in the natural base quite quickly to hit the SCVs, and a lot of them are going to go down. Let's see how this frontal push will go. The interference matrix should land quite quickly onto the siege tank, and this should be a bloodbath on either side. Byun with his lone siege tank, he's waiting for that interference matrix to go out, but it looks like it's going to get killed off before it gets to do much of anything. Alright, the drop, however, has been somewhat dealt with. There's still 1 medevac here with a good amount of Marines. The siege tank just barely able to shoot those Marines right now. If only they were placed a centimeter to the left. I'm going to try to get on top of the siege tank instead. Other side. Infrastructure for Byun definitely hurting here. Does appear like Cure has managed to get the upper hand in this situation. Unless if he loses more at home. A bit of a misplace there with the Marine. Not this one, however. That one is doing a wonderful job. Using another medevac. Okay, and he does clear out the container in his own front door. This is a tough one for Byun. Not gonna lie. Quite far behind on those workers and doesn't have a third base yet either to speak of. His army is still comparable to that of Kure, so perhaps he can still figure out a way to approach this, but I mean, those siege tanks of Kure look pretty well set up. He's got Vikings on the backside as well, so how are you gonna mount any type of offense here as Byun? I don't think you can, and oh, there's a Hellion in the natural. Oh my. Where did that come from? How long has it been waiting there? Ridiculous. Alright. Yeah, he can just kind of sit back now, can't he? You could even just take the backdoor third base. He's got his third command center quite close to other locations though, so I imagine he has plans for not taking the pocket base, but we'll see. I love how he's just kept his command center this low as well. He's like, we need every man working right now. Oh, Vikings. Nothing much happened there, apparently. This is the real crux right now of this game, perhaps. Once they're above that dead space, that could be prime hunting grounds for those Vikings. But they're turning around. There's still a missile turret up there as well. Oh, Byun, he's thinking about it. But the Hellion comes back. Oh, diversion. Careful. Alright. Starts to bring everything together. Gonna go for the Doom Drop. Could have turned quite ugly, of course. Be careful, one siege thing sieged up. Also one in the further backside of this. I don't know, Byun, is this gonna work out for him? A really good split with his Marines, but I think this siege tank on the back over there, it's only got 4 kills, but really putting a number on Byun's forces there. Starting to get quite ahead right now on army supply as well. There's still an upgrade advantage. Well, there was an upgrade advantage. It's gone now. Ooh, okay. Okay, we're getting to that point now, aren't we? We really are. Finds himself another enclosure near Kure's base, but not really anywhere where he's threatening anything important. And almost loses another medevac. Kure's starting to get aggressive now on the other side. That does look like a sufficient amount of Marines to just kind of waltz in there, doesn't it? Especially if those medevacs aren't part of the mix. He's like, let's attack the third base. Oh, there is no third base. Alright. He does not have one quite yet. Setting it up right now. But it's been a while. Look at that. More than 1,000 extra income for Kure established. That makes sense. And there it is. GG. Byun taps out. We're going into game number 3. Well, could be a short one. Could be a short one. Can still go either way. We do have... Well, actually, there's only one refinery, so I'm sure he's going to get another one. There we go. Could still go either way. Who do you think will win? The 2 racks? Or the man with the 1 racks? But, you know, he's the honorable man since he built it in his own base. Coming in with a scout. Oh my, okay, now this is turning the tables, isn't it? Probably should shut down the voting. No. There's still people who believe in Byun from this position, right? I do. He can make it work. He might make it work. He's Michael Jackson after all, isn't he? He's the man, the myth, the legend. He's the guy that caused Reapers to be changed. Oh boy, that is rough. He's lost 2 SCVs as well. Doing this. Yeah. He's going for the... Yeah. I mean, it's just the one proxy Rex now, isn't it? Okay, well, there you go. There you have it. There you have it, everyone. GG. Well played by Kyo.